Okay everyone, how's it all going? I hope you're doing good. It has been a while, I know. I'm sorry. The last videos I was making were on MFL. To be honest with you, I've just been so busy with everything going on in life. As you can see, I'm in a new room, moved to a new part of the country. I've just started a brand new job. Loads has been going on, and I finished my masters in a month's time, which is taking up all my time at the moment. No time at all. I've been set my lineups. I'll show you what's been going on over the last, I think it's been like 3 months or so. But I do plan on making more regular videos again. They're probably just going to be long form talking like this about what's going on and things like that. But yeah, let's have a look at how Sorare 26 started last week for me, because last week kind of was the first sort of week we had. So here we go. For context, over the last month, or 2 months I should say, I've just been playing MLS and Contender. I've not really even been throwing much into MLS. I kind of just like to play, just to see what was going on. Like here, I bought a cheap lineup, because I sold most of my cards, and for the longest time, I was just putting in Contender lineups. Like I had some decent Contender cards. Again, not paying too much attention, like Quintero and obviously Cecilia. A lot of my earlier season pickups haven't been doing as well. Again, Jesse Lingard banged it. Just like kind of keeping an idea of what's going on in the J League and K League, but nothing too major. But then Sorare 26 announcement came out. I spoke to one of my friends who is a keen MLS person, and they built me this really cheap team with a lot of these cards here that are just underpriced at the moment, which was great at the time. I've sold most of these cards for profit. I am tracking everything like I did before for profit and loss. And then again, I decided to pick up a few more, slightly better cards. This lineup here would have been great. Wow, this is one hell of a lineup. Yeah, this lineup here would have been great if I hadn't have had George Campbell in it and actually got my captaincy right, but you can't always win. But yeah, these were the first sort of lineups here where I kind of got hooked back in. Slightly better MLS lineup, didn't win anything. This lineup did well. But again, it was more about the Contender that I was interested in. I believe it was mainly just the Argentinian League and this Ulsan Daegu game. I remember watching this game on the beach actually, and that's what fully caught me back in. Watching Di Maria play again, winning. I know it's only $4 and that's been replaced by the streaks now, but just winning that's kind of what got me back in. So the week after, I threw together these MLS lineups. Again, MLS isn't my speciality. I kind of just did it just to try and get something. Won absolutely nothing at all. Some decent players in here though, which were actually sold for profit, which was good. But then here we go. The week after, this is where it properly started going. July 18th, so about 2 weeks ago or so. Beginning to get some players in the right spots, but just all around kind of missing a little bit. But again, Contender is where it was doing really well for me. I threw this lineup together just to test out the possibility to streak, to see how that could do, because the streaks weren't quite in place at this point. I paid, I think it was, let me just pull up here, I've got my spreadsheet, Contender rare. So, not looking very pretty at the moment, as you can see. I paid £63, so I need to hit the bottom streak 3 times to pay it off. And I just kind of wanted to test out how it would do. I hit 372, which is obviously 100 more than you would need, and enough to hit the second streak as well, which was very promising. This one won the $4, and yeah, just pretty solid all round. Rosario have formed the main backbone of my Contender team. These two had double game weeks, which is why they're in here. And Cecilia, not doing that well, did hurt us quite a bit. I want to see if we got the captaincy right. Yeah, probably not. If we had Cecilia switch these 2 rounds, maybe we would have done a little bit better. But just playing around with it, seeing what was going on. And then we get to last week where we have the first the first new in-season tournament. I liked Westerlo because they had some nice attackers again. Again, very limited JPL knowledge. I think my problem has been I've thrown myself too much into a league without knowing anything about it, and just kind of expecting to hit that bottom streak, because the 250 point mark isn't a lot. The one thing that I have been very good at, however, is picking up players for a good price. So Bosnov has come down now, to be fair, but I bought him for, where did I buy him? One of these ones along the bottom. I think I paid £2 something for Bosnov. Absolutely nothing. So I've made decent money on there. Koosmans I've now sold, paid £5 for, and flipped. But again, it's more about the Contender that I'm really into. Which brings us on to this week. Looking a little bit better in JPL. Hopefully we should hit this one. I got my captaincy right. This game is still going on. No, it's just finished. Okay, so I need 40 points to hit this first one. I bought a couple of cheap challenger lineups, to be honest with you, because I wasn't really sure much about it, and I just wanted to play just to see what was going on. So I have in fact bought the cheapest challenger stack I could find. I don't expect it to do very well. By the time after I've had all of the cards for 30 days, I will be over the 750 point limit, I think. So I should be, I should be fine. I don't think many of these cards will do well, but at the same time, I paid like £1.80 for every single one. So if I hit any of the streaks and can pay some of them off, great. If not, it'd just be fine. I think I'm just going to complete it just to say that I've completed it, to be honest with you. Quite a few of the prices have gone up with all the promos that they've been doing and things like that. So that's the Falkirk lineup for Challenger. I obviously had the place for the Nicky Hogarth, was actually the reason I bought it because of how cheap he was. I can get him to 14% for an in-season goalkeeper. Just got to do okay because I think my edit will do alright. And the same with this keeper here. I just need to hit 250 points as well. I'm not going for leaderboards at the moment. I may do future on with Challenger and Contender. Right now, I'm just going to stick to hitting the leaderboards, and that's all I'm really going for. Now, Contender. Obviously, there is no J-League, there is no K-League, there is no Argentina, which, well, I say there's no K-League. There is one, maybe two fixtures across it, very little. So I had a Wanadzek because I wanted it for Contender in season. I thought he was cheap enough, and I spoke to, again, a friend of mine, and he said to buy these 4 cards here. They have one more week of in-season utility, and then you will, maybe some decent classics for arena and things like that. The keeper, who I can use for in season, which I probably won't because he is absolutely horrific, but he was very, very cheap, 33, which is not great. Wanadzek was obviously incredible, the perfect captain choice, which has carried this lineup so far. Kevin Vogt lost 4-1 and still got 54 points. I mean, if he hadn't have, great, but now all I need is these 2 players here. This one's only a 70%. This guy is starting because the game kicks off in 2 minutes time, so I just need him to not get below a 35, and we're fine. Jamie Lawrence isn't doing the best right now, but again, I don't necessarily need him to do excellent. Just got to hit that 250 mark for this week. I've provisionally set out some lineups for next weekend. I think I'm going to try and add another JPL team in there. Again, I'm not too sure. MLS, I'm just going to throw this out for the rest of the season. It'll do how it'll do. Challenger is literally Falkirk. Again, 300 points. Can I hit it? Maybe. I might add a couple of players. Hopefully I have a better idea about who's good and who's not, and maybe build into it with some of my winnings. I might do that with Challenger. I've got my initial investment, which you can see here. So yes, so far I've spent £46 on my Challenger team. And I've got 4 lineups out. Scott Bain, I know he's not going to start. He's just in there more to get XP than anything else. So maybe a in-season goalkeeper is the first place I could look to pick up. I kind of want to add to this squad and move down players. That's kind of how I'm gonna look at it. But yeah, so far £46. I did buy the this keeper here. Obviously he moved to Genk, so I just sold him to make profit. The Contender rare, like I said, £63. Maybe I build into that as well. I see how it does this weekend if I can hit that first streak, because I was just hurt by DNPs. Like I said, I've got my Contender here. This is going well. We have paid off. Where are we at to? We should actually update this to 71 now to see how much we spent. I think it'll be about £100. Yeah, £100 across the season. Do I think we can pay that off? Well, I mean, if this streak here hits, that's another, £8 to add to this, which is pretty comfy. Let me have a look at the other lineups. Which one was this? Let's delete that. So yeah, JPL. We sold Verips, who I may look to buy back the in-season version, and Koosman's, doubled our money on him. Again, if we can just hit this first streak, we will be sitting quite pretty. I'm slowly picking up 1 or 2 players here. Eredivisie, I don't think I'm going to play. Liga and La Liga, I can't see myself playing at the moment. But Premier League, I definitely will be playing. I have bought my very first Prem in-season card. I don't think I'm going to be playing until after the international break, however. It was only a cheap one just because I saw it was expiring, and that's James Hill. I'm going to build a Bournemouth stack. I support Bournemouth. I want to have the collection, and there's a good chance he starts at the start of the season because we are short on centre backs, and I kind of just wanted a Bournemouth card. They look really cool. I don't think there's any others expiring at the moment, but like I said, my squads are going to be Contender, maybe Contender Rare, Challenger, Prem, and JPL, and I'm going to keep throwing the MLS lineups out for a bit. I may look to add more later on, but I can't really justify putting that more investment into it at the moment. So this is where I'm at. Just kind of wanted to chat to everyone, see how it's all going. This game has kicked off. I wonder if I can watch it anywhere. I'll probably find somewhere I can. But yeah, that was that, and let me know how you're getting on.